Okay, so yesterday we started Python, right? As we planned initially, we have seen the world of IT, how things are happening into the IT world, right? All the job roles we have seen. Then we have seen about the data science. What is data science, data engineer, data analyst, and their job roles we understood, right? Now, yesterday we started Python programming, and we will move from there, right? So yesterday we have seen Python got its name from a show, a comedy show, a comedy television show, which name is Monty Python, right? Similarly, we have also seen the some ratings of languages, how these languages are doing. Let me do the slideshow, right? Okay, so you can see here. Just a second, let me connect my. Please be on mute. Right. You can see we have also seen yesterday, right? The Python is rating of most programming languages right now just because of the data analytics and data engineering and data science field, right? Other languages are also in the list. You can see in whichever you have interest, you can try that. SQL is another important aspect of data engineer, especially, and data analyst, right? And other language, it depends what kind of job you want, you can try those, right? We have also seen this, the inventor of Python, he is the inventor of Python, Kaido van Rossum, right? And Python is general purpose programming language, right? Just a second. Okay, yeah, I'm using OneDrive, right? I thought I was using Google Slide. Yeah, so as you know, Python general purpose language, high level programming language, it uses interpreter, right? Interactive, object oriented, and it is very beginner's language, right? Because that is why it started in high school also, right? In high school, in CBSE syllabus also it introduced, right? Then after that we have seen Java Python comparison, right? You have seen this meme, right? Okay, then we discussed about the certification. There's no need to do any certification in Python. There is no official authority for that. If you want to do certification, try to do in cloud like AWS, Azure, in these fields, right? Not here. Okay, you can do certification in TensorFlow, right? Okay, so this is in much demand. You can also do in GCP. You can also do in Databricks, right? You can also do certification in Snowflake, right? These will give you directly job, or this will give you it is to your resume, but these certificates will not. So don't do these, right? Nobody will going to ask, because nowadays they will take your written exam. Initial round of any company is nowadays a coding test, right? So try to focus on that, right? If you want to be a cloud engineer or data engineer, data analyst, you can try these certifications. Specifically, if you want to work in computer vision NLP, then you can do this certification. And if you want to be in data engineering, you can try Databricks. If you want to be in data warehousing or ETL jobs, you can go for Snowflake also, right? These certification you can try. One more important thing, Azure certification are compared to cheaper. If you see Azure certification like Azure Data Engineer, Azure Fundamentals, Azure Data Analyst, so Azure certifications are comparatively cheaper, right? So if you want, you can do a certification in that. So it will give you weightage to your resume also, right? You can plan that, right? Installation wise, I told you we will use Google Colab, right? Yesterday I shown you. I hope everyone is able to use that. Otherwise, you can use Anaconda or Jupyter Notebook. Later we will see this VS Code, right? And if you some people also uses PyCharm, but I will not recommend you, because I told you, as for remote SSH connection, you need a licensed version of PyCharm, right? So you should use VS Code, right? VS Code is open source and very very good IDE that you can use, right? Not only in Python but also in JavaScript, Node.js, and all these things also, right? Of course, we are using Google Colab, and there is one more competitor of Google Colab, a Gradient. You can try and check, but Google Colab is enough, right? We have seen this Python program. We also did this quiz. After this, I told you you can look for some groups of Python, blogs of Python on LinkedIn, Facebook, or maybe on Twitter, also Telegram, because these groups will tell you about job opportunities, interview experience. If you see on LinkedIn, lots of people write post about interview experience, right? Interview experience of data engineer, data scientist, or maybe a Python developer. So you get those information there, right? So be active on LinkedIn. Uninstall Facebook and Insta. Try to install LinkedIn, right? If you want to get job in upcoming 1 or 2 years, right? Also see the blogs. Also identify some YouTube channels that you can follow for Python, for data science, which have very good content, because you get regular update from them, right? Make a list of Python, machine learning, and data science conference. I told you yesterday there is one conference, ICON, right? So you identify such conferences where industry people are attending, not academician, right? If you, right, so from academic point of view, IEEE conference, right? IEEE and Springer conferences, right? Springer, right? These conferences happen, right? So you can attend those conferences. But from industry perspective, try to identify some list of conferences of data science, machine learning, Python, so that you can go and attend and do some networking there. Okay, identify these things. These are also necessary. Okay, let's move. Okay, so we discussed about variables, right? Let me go to the code. Okay, we discussed about yesterday, we discussed about variables, right? Today I will upload this sheet on GitHub and I will share you the link for that also. Okay, so here you can see yesterday we have seen a print function, right? Print is used to print any string or any sentence. A string basically a sequence of character. A string is a sequence of character, right? Like for example, I am writing Avinash. So Avinash is a string, right? It has sequence of character A, V, I, N, A, S, S. So these are characters. So when it comes and we write a string into either double quote or maybe single quote. You can also write in single quote also, single quotes, right? Single quote or double quote. We can also use triple quotes. I will explain you that thing also in upcoming sessions, right? But general string is represented like this. So string is sequence, string is sequence of character, right? In general, it is stored in a database or not database. It is stored in memory like this, right? A, V, I, N, A, S, H, right? So this index like this. Okay, I will explain you these things also in detail, but string is a sequence of character. That is what I want to say, right? Right now. So you can use print statement, print function to print the string. Similarly, you can also define variable. Here, no need to define int, float, like in C++, we write int x equals to 5, right? Here, no need to define that. It automatically identifies that. This capability is known as a dynamically typed language. This capability is known as a dynamically typed language because it identifies the data type at runtime, right? Okay, here I am writing pi equals to 3.14, so it will automatically identify it is a float value. So that this is a capability of Python. That is why we call it dynamically typed language, right? And everything is object here. That's why we also call it object, right? For example, I'm writing flag. Flag is a variable name. I'm writing true, right? So it will identify it will identify this and it will give this a name. It will give this a name flag, and its data type will be bool or boolean. Right. So if I check here in data types, right, let me check here in data types. Yesterday I have shown you also, right, a function, another function which name is type. Right. So if I write a flag, then you can see its type is bool. It is identifying at runtime. That is why we call it dynamically typed programming language. Okay. Then we have seen data types, right? You can see by data type of x, we defined here x equals to 5. So it is an integer. Pi, it is a float. Name, it is an string. It is a string, right? So you can see here str. Okay. After that, we have seen yesterday type conversion. Suppose I have a variable x and I want to convert that into float, then you can use float function. Right here, let me write here. Okay, so int function is there, float function is there, all the functions are there, right? Str is there, bool is also there. You can try bool also. Let me also show you bool. Float, int, and string we have seen yesterday. You can see x is now a string. It has single quotes, right? And when I was trying to convert name is a string. When I was trying to convert name into int, it was giving a value error because invalid literal. This literal is character, so they can't convert character into int base, right? So if you are doing converting a type of data type, when you are changing the data type, you make sure you are giving correct input, otherwise it will give error, right? So that is what my point is, right? Now you can see I am writing bool here and I am giving it 0 value I am giving it, so it is saying it false. So 0 considered as false and 1 considered as true. See here another one I am writing here, bool 1. So bool 1 is true, right? Also let's try with bool empty string. Empty string is false. This is empty string, nothing. There is nothing, right? Suppose here I will write a string which has nothing, which has space, not space. So if it will has space, then it will like this. It don't have space, it is empty. So this has space, this is empty string. What type of string it is? Empty. It don't have anything. Let me also write bool avi, right? Then it is true. So anything, if a string has anything, it will be true. If it is empty, it will give false, right? It will help you to do your right if else logic, right? Let me also do one more gameplay, right? Bool 1 2 3 4. Oh sorry, 2 3 4. I'm giving just a number. It is true. So 0 means false. If you give 1 2 3 4 any number, it will give you true. If you give empty string, it will give you false. If you give any string, it will give you true. If you give any number, it will give you true, right? So please understand these bool is integer, is string, float. These are the only core data type that you need in Python, right? Of course you need list, tuple, dictionary, but core, I'm saying core. List, tuple, dictionary are at one, those are not primitive data types, those are secondary data type, you can say, right? Those are derived from these, right? So we have seen what is variable. Variable is a place which holds a value, right? If you want, I can also write here value. I can write here, okay, hash. Okay, I'm writing here hash. Hash means what? Comment. You can write hash, you can write comment using hash. Hash, if something is starting with hash, Python interpreter will not execute that. It is not going to execute that. You can write your comment anything with the help of hash. So hash, whatever starts with hash, Python will not execute that. It consider it as a comment or some kind of message, right? So variable is a place which holds value. Okay, great. Let's move ahead. Am I audible? Am I visible? Any issue till now? Or any question that you want to ask? Are you still there? Yes, I'm still there. Yeah. Anything you want to ask? Everything is okay? Can we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move ahead. So we have seen data types, variable, type conversion. I will share you this sheet today also. Sheet means this notebook, right? That you can upload into your Google Column and you can easily run that, right? Now the next important thing is user input. Whenever you write programs, you need input from user. Suppose, for example, I want to ask age from the user, right? What is your age? So there is a function input, sorry, input function, right? So you can write a message into input, enter your age, right? Okay, now what I will do, I will do print your you are, and then your age, then again comma, you are years old, right? For example, you have given your age 20 year, right? Then it will write you are 20 years old, right? So let me run this. Shift enter or control enter. Shift enter or control enter, or you can directly. Now it is asking for age. Suppose I am giving age 25, right? Now if I will do enter, it will write you are 25 years old, right? So this is your you are, then your age, then again comma, then I am writing this string, right? So input function will take the input and return this input to the age. Input function reads the input and assign that value to age variable, or you can say input variable read that value and returns that value, and that returned value will be stored in age. Okay, now let me show you one more important thing. We are writing syntax like this. Now there is one more important thing, right? Nowadays people are using f string, right? F string. Now what is f string? I will explain you, don't worry about that. Okay, so f string is like this. It will start with f. So you can see f and the single quote. In that you can write like you are, then if you want to write age, you have to write into this curly braces. Any variable will be into curly braces. Age years old, right? Now if I run this, you are 25 years old, right? And you can also write print, you can also write this into print. So f string are very useful way, people are using it now, right? From last few years I'm seeing this f string is more utilized in the utilized by the software developers, especially the Python developers. So f string will give you an efficient way to write a string like sentences or syntax, right? So you can see easily without putting commas here, you can add your variable here, it will add this like this one, right? So this is another way to write your print statement or your string. So this is very important. If you see anywhere with f, so f string, this style is known as f string. You can read here. Okay, no problem, right? So this is user input, right? One more important thing I want to tell you about strings, right? For example, you have a name, one string name.
So
right?
can you once again explain this f string?
Yeah, so f string is a new concept, right? So what it does, if you have any variable, because ultimately you want to add your variable into a certain string, so you can add your variable. Age is your variable, you want to add this variable into a string. So this is a way to do this into print function. You can also use the f string. What you can do is you can add any variable using curly bracket. You need to define your any variable into curly bracket. For example, instead of age, let me directly write the age, right? Your age is 26. So you can define your variable here, right? Suppose you have multiple variable. For example, let me give you another example, right? Suppose your name is Avinash, right? And surname is Navlani, right? Okay. Now you want to print a statement, right? So print a statement, right? So f string. So I want to write your name is, okay, your name is. Now in curly bracket I will write name, then space, then curly bracket I will write surname. So it will be dynamic. Whatever input will be coming from user, it will update accordingly. So you can put your variables into curly bracket and into a string by defining this f string. You just need to write f just like this, right? Let me write here. So here this is your string. Suppose you have written here something, right? You need to just add f here, and if you want to define variable inside this, it should be into curly braces. This is a very good practice I am seeing people are using nowadays, so you should also know this, right? Okay, I was talking about string concatenation. Let me copy this and put here as an example. Okay, and you can see this here as an example. Here what I want to tell you is string concatenation means you can concatenate two string using a plus operator. Right, now you can see there's no space in Avinash Navlani. So what you can do, you can add one more plus and you can add a space string with a space. Now it will add name, space, and then your surname, right? So this is string concatenation. We will see string into detail, right? So we have whole chapter for string. It hanged, I think. I don't know why I'm seeing this problem with this OneDrive. No problem, we are just focusing here right now. Okay, so you can see here we can do string concatenations like that. Okay, string concatenations are important. We will see this into detail in upcoming session when we will do the string. String we have planned for tomorrow. So tomorrow we will see this into much more detail. But right now you understand concatenation means adding two string with plus operator. We are adding two strings with plus operator or arithmetic operator, you can also say operator, right? And we are not adding. This operation is not known as adding. Adding means concat, right? Adding means concatenation in case of a string, right? Okay, so now we know something into Python, right? So we will do few exercises, right? Okay, let's start with an exercise, right? Write a program to get two numbers as input from user and print summation of two numbers. Two number addition, very basic program, but we have to take input from user, right? In general I can write like, for example, x is a value 5, right? Y is value 6, right? I can write sum is equals to sum. I think sum is already defined variable, right? So you can use sum, but you should not, right? So, or you can use total, right? Total x plus y, right? Sorry, x plus y. Print sum total, right? Now in that case we are not taking user input. You have to take the user input right? Just like we have used here input your age. We will say enter or input, enter your enter a number, right? As simple as that. And I will again ask them enter another number, enter another number, right? And then I will run this. Now it will ask input. Suppose first number is 24, second number is 36, then output will be say
2436.
output will be 2436. Why? Because the reason behind is simple. It is doing string concatenation. Input return string value. You have to convert this input value into string into integer. It is returning a string value. We have to convert this into integer, right? So you have to convert your input into integer because input returns a string. So this x is a string. Let me show you here. If you see here x comma y, if I print this, you can see it is a string. You can see it is into single quote. Any number which is into single quote, it is a string. Or if you want to check its data type, you can also check type x. All right. So it is a string. So you have to use this int. You have to do the type conversion. That is why I initially explained you about these type conversion. Or not only type conversion, you can say it data type conversion, right? Or changing the data type, right? The same way we are doing here, we are changing the data type. Now I will run this. The output will be 36. Output will be 60, right? So it will return a string. You need to convert that. Right now we are converting to the int. Right now, for example, I am giving input 25.5 plus. Now it is giving error. Invalid literal for int. It is not into the base 10. Right. So if user can also give input as float. Right. So what I will say you is you should use float here. The best way is to use the float here, right? So that is what is important. Now you will see, right? 25.5 and 2.5. Answer will be 28.0. Now output is also float. You can see. So because Python identifies the data type and as per that it will give the output. So we initially used input, then we use int, then we replace int with float. Right now this program is much more mature, right? But you start with basic, no problem. If you are getting errors, if you are getting problem, no problem. You can do Google search and ask questions, right? And try to run those codes. Right? Why I am starting with the simple problem? You just be into the flow. Once you will be into the flow, then you can easily work on. Right now we are doing the simple operation. We have to face hacker rank coding test. Have in your mind that this is just a beginning, right? This is not the first step, right? We are just starting it. We have to go till hacker rank, right? We have to give coding test of any company, TCS, Infosys, any company, right? So we should be good in all these kind of small programs, because these program will be building block for writing that difficult code, right? And again, don't consider coding as a ये तो बहुत बड़ा वो है, don't consider it as a burden on yourself. Just consider it as a hobby. Just consider that I want to learn coding to enhance my IQ level, right? Or enhance my problem solving approach, right? Because programming gives you a way how you think, right? So it improves your logical thinking. So from that way, you just take it as a hobby, because if you take it as a subject, then it might create some problem for you, right? Just enjoy, just have fun with coding, try different things, right? Okay. Let's move ahead, right? Now next program we need to write, calculate the perimeter of a square. Okay, now you need to think. Now I'm explaining you how to think for any logic, right? The question is, what is the question? Perimeter of a square, right? Square, you can see square has equal side, right? A a a a so perimeter is a plus a plus a plus a, or you can say 4a, right? Now I know this. Now what input I need from user? This a, what is a? Side of square. So I will take this input from user, then I will calculate perimeter p by 4 multiply a, then I will get my output, and then I will do the print. I will do print, and before I will take input from user. This is my logical approach. And most of the people uses pen paper. Some people take coding route on pen paper. Even if you see Google takes his their coding round on MS Word, right? They don't give you editor because they don't want to use the predefined syntax. They want you to remember the syntax and write them efficiently, right? So if you want to use pen paper, no problem. You should have habit of pen paper or notepad writing code, right? So you can first think for your logic, and then you can try to write the code. Don't directly go and start coding, right? Because you are starting out. Once you will be in the flow, then you can easily write that, right? So what I will do is, first I need a side. For example, your side is a, right? Then I need input from user, right? Enter side of a square, right? Enter side of a square, and it will be either integer or float. Suppose I am taking it as a float, right? Great. Now what I will do, p is my perimeter, 4 multiply a, then I will write print perimeter colon, then comma, then p, right? Okay, let me run this now. Suppose I entered 4.5, then it will be 18, right? So just start with the approach, right? This next question is very good question. Convert hours to minutes and seconds, right? Now think about, we have, suppose we have input of 30 minutes. Just take any input. Suppose we have input of 30 minutes and variable is hour, right? Forget about this, not sorry. What is the question? Hours need to convert into minutes. Suppose we have input hour as 2 hour, right? Okay, 2 hours. Now how I will convert it into the minutes? 2 into 60, as simple as that. And what about seconds? 2 into 60 into 60, or you can also do like this, minutes into 60. That's also you can do. So now you know the approach, that hours I will take input from user using input function, right? Then I will calculate this, then I will print it, right? So this is your approach will be. So whenever you write code, just think how you will write, how you will solve this, and then start writing. Again, I'm again writing here, and don't try to do the copy paste, just try to write, right? I need input. What I need input? I need hours, right? So input, and here hours will be into integer, right? Integer, enter hours, right? Then you can convert into the minutes. Okay, hours multiply 60. Okay, and seconds hours multiply 60, again multiply 60, right? Then you can write your print statement. Now just try with f string, right? Now I am writing f string. You can write either with single quote or double quote, right? Now I will write minutes, right? Minutes, okay. Minutes will be your minutes, then seconds will be your seconds, right? Now if you want to do new line, then you just put \n, right? It will jump to the next line. This is a next line specifier, right? Now I will run this. It will ask for hours. Suppose I am entering 5 hours, so 5 hour will have 300 minutes and 18,000 seconds, right? Now let me remove this space. Now you will see, suppose I'm entering 3-hour movie, right, which is 180 minute and 10,800 seconds, right? I remove that space so that it will be look in single line, right? So that's how you have to think. So in each code I am trying to increase the complexity. Right now you can see these simple codes, right? Let's try one more, right? We have around 12 codes, right, that we can try. Okay, so I think I will leave here. You can try all these remaining. I think you can try these codes, or I will explain you each of them.
Yes.
Okay, good. I think you can try. I will share you this sheet into the GitHub repo, and I will share you the link. Okay, don't worry. Or I will share this notebook into the WhatsApp channel. Okay. Okay. Let's.
Sir, which platform you are using right now for this coding?
I am using Colab. Google Colab I am using. You can just do Google Colab and start that. Google Colab. You just do Google and start this, right? And this will work with your Gmail account, right? You can create new notebook, or you can open the notebook also. The notebook I will share you, you can open that, right? You can upload that notebook here and directly use that. If don't, then you can create your new notebook by clicking on this, right? It will create a new notebook for you. This is known as Google Colab. Why we are using this platform? I don't want to stuck into the installation phase. Just write your code, right? Just write your code. Don't worry about the installation. Just write your code. Later we will see how to install things, okay? Or I will create a small video and upload on the YouTube and share you the link, okay?
Okay, sir.
Good. Let's move to now operators, right? Right now we have seen some operators, right? Now let me show you more operators also. You can try these codes, okay? Great. First I will talk about arithmetic operators, right? So if you see, arithmetic means all the basic mathematical operation like plus, minus, division, subtraction, right? So let's start with like this. Suppose I am doing 10 plus 5, it will give 50, right? It will take some time initially, right? Because you can see here dots are orange. First that will convert into green. Green means they are attaching it to a VM or a virtual machine, right? You can see here uses also, right? Now you can see the output is 50. Now I use this plus sign, right? 10 minus 5, right? The answer is 5, right? We know these operations, right? 4 into 5, sorry, 4 into 5. Okay, it is giving error. 4 into 5. Now let's see one more thing. 20 does not, don't take, not, okay, take 20 divided by 5, output will be 4.0. This division operator always return the float value. Right, now see another thing. Suppose you have value 7 and I am using double division operator. What? Double division operator, and I am dividing it with 2. So output will be 3.5, but no, it will give answer 3. This double division operator skip the decimal part, or you can say it will give a floor value. Skip the decimal part or floor value, right? 3.5, it is giving only floor value 3, right? Let me write here, right? Just a second. Okay. So suppose there is a value 3.5, right? So 3 is floor and 4 is ceiling. Okay, why on the scale, on integer scale or number scale, 3.5 is here, right? This is your floor, this is your seal, right? Or you can write like this. This is your 3.5, this is your 3, this is 4. So this is your floor and this is your ceiling. This is another way to look at that. So this 7 double division operator, what it will do, it will return you 3. It will skip this decimal part. It will skip this part. It will skip this part and it will return you only 3. Now, what are its advantages? We will see this later, but this is a good operator when you only want your you don't want the decimal part, you just want the floor part of it. Right? So remember this, we call it something else, right? Number, right? Okay, yeah. So operator performs floating point division, right? Operator performs integer division. When the result is positive, you can think of it as a truncating to 0 decimal places, but be careful with that. When integer dividing negative numbers, then operator rounds up, right, to the nearest integer. Mathematically speaking, it is rounding down. Now check this another example. Sorry, operators. Let me try this. Now I am taking -7, right? Then output will be -4. Why? It is again -4 is a floor value and -3 is your seal value, right? Because -3 is more than compared to -4, so it will take the lower value. So it is rounding down basically, right? So you need to remember this. Okay, great. We know now arithmetic operators. Okay, one more operator is there, exponent and modulo operator. I need 2 more cells, right? Okay, suppose I am writing 2 and asterisk 3. It means that power, and we call this exponent, power or exponent, right? So the answer will be 8. 2 to the power 3, it means 2 to the power 3, right? We have another operator which is known as module operator, right? So suppose I will write 199 modulo 5. It is returning 4. It is returning a remainder. So this is a remainder operator, you can say remainder operator, right? Operator. Okay, so this modulo operator returns a remainder. So these are very helpful when you will do a string reverse or number reverse, not a string reverse. When you will do number reverse, then these operator will help you to do that in for loop. These all will be used right now. Just we are understanding these things. These are basic things. Once after 8-10 sessions when we start for loop and the other things, then these will help you a lot doing computation and calculation. Or maybe you are doing your writing your algorithm or some operation, in that also these operator will help you, so don't worry about that, right? Also when you do data analysis, so these are the basic operations that you should know, right? We have some time left, so let's see one more thing, and, or, and not, right? So these are logical operator. These help you when you write if else condition, when you write some logical operation. For example, suppose your one value is true and another one is false, right? So true, false, and the operation is or, then output will be true. If any of the operation is true, then output will be true in case of or. If you use and, then your output will be false, then your output will be false. So this is like your AND gate or gate, right? AND gate or gate kind of thing, you can say. But here this not exactly the gate, but this is operation, or and AND operation, right? So here these things work on a truth table, right? You can consider true as 1 and false as 0. So in general, if you see, true you consider as 1 and false as 0, right? And then you can think of these operations, right? Suppose I will give you true or true, then output will be true. If I will do false or true, then output will be true. If I do false or false, then output will be false, right? Just like or gate or operation in truth table. I hope you all are engineers, you are aware of this, right? So no need to discuss much on this. If you have any doubt, I can clarify that, but yeah, it is logical way. Sorry, not or, I need to write here and true and true, false and true, and then false and false. You can see only in one operation it is true, otherwise it is false, right? So and one more operator is not is just reversing your operation. For example, not true will return you false, and if you write not false, it will return you true. So it invert the operation. Basically not is doing inversion, right? So this is just similar to your school level of computing or electronics way, the way you do create a truth table, similar to that. Okay, so these are the very simple logical operator. Now these are important operators, right? So you can see here, let me write less than, then write greater than, because it is considering it as some. Okay, right? So this is less than, greater than, and greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, equal and not equal, right? For example, if I say 5 is greater than 4, output will be true, right? If I will write 10 is less than 10 is greater than 15, output will be false. So or equal to, you can also add less than, greater than, equal to. So these conditions will help you a lot when you write your, yeah, you can also use GenAI to write your code also here. Equal to, okay, are you still there? Yes, I am still there. Okay, less than, equal to, false, right? Because both conditions are false, right? And you can also use like this, 5 equal 5, output will be true, right? And I can also write this, 5 is not equals to 5, so it will return you false, because not equal to, right? So these are relational operator. You try to compare things and try to see whether things are relatively equal or not. You try to see the relation, right? So these are the relational operator. These will be useful when we will use if else condition. These will be also useful when we do if else condition, right? Let's move to compound operators. These are very simple things, right? Okay, so you can check them out easily. Now compound operator, suppose I am writing a is equals to 5, right? Now a is equals to a plus 5, then I am printing a, output will be 10. Instead of this what I am doing is, now I am putting a hash. Hash means it is comment. Now I will write my a plus equals to 5. A plus equals to do 6. Just write it 6, right? So that it won't confuse you. A plus equals to 6 means it is equivalent to this. A plus 6 you can also write in this way. It will save your space and time. It will reduce the syntax. If you read about compiler design, right, it will reduce unnecessary token generation, right? So if you run this, it will also give you the same output, right? Same output than this. Similarly, you can try with like this. I have tried with equal plus equal. Let me copy this and paste here. You can try with minus, right? Let's put here 13, then check 7. So it is equivalent to this one, a equal to a minus 6. So you can write like this. Same for each one, right? Same for each one. Star equal to, and this one and this one, right? Let's try this. Let's try all remaining. It won't take much time, right? I'm copying this, pasting here, right? So instead of minus, I am trying multiply. Right? You can see 13 multiplied by 6, 78. Similarly, you can do a division operation also, right? Okay. Instead of minus, I am doing division, right? Now I will divide 13 by 6. It will give a 2.16 something, right? Similarly, you can do exponent also, right? Suppose value of a is 5, and what I'm doing is star. It means exponent, right? Exponent by 2, right? So answer will be 25. Right? So same way you can try this operator. Similarly, you can also do for modulo also, right? Suppose a value is 13. Instead of minus, I am using modulo operator, right? Now it will return the remainder 1, right? So this is the shortcut way to write this syntax. This is known as compound operator. These operators are combined together, right? And you can also try this double division operator also. Okay, yeah. So that is about operators. So I am stopping here, right? Tomorrow we will see these bitwise operator. Bitwise operator means we will do operations at bit level, right? For example, 1 0 1 1, right? And 1 0 1 0, right? So we will do these kind of operation, bitwise operation, right? At bit level operation. So these options we will see tomorrow, right? We are over the time. Tomorrow I will show you these operators, this level shift, left shift operator, right shift operator, and I will also assign you these exercises. So every day we will do some exercises, right? And then after finishing this, tomorrow we will start the string part, right? I already have created the notebook. So today I will share you this notebook. You can try these exercise 8-9 exercise. Okay, and tomorrow we will see the string part, right? String slicing operations, comments, string methods, f string I have already shown you, right? So these things we will do. For this week we have planned till string, so that, and I will also give you some exercise for your weekend also, some string operation